wheelers, four-wheelers. And I don't want to look at that.
I think some kind of designation in the town plan is probably the best place
Right.
to put that. You can't, there's no way to limit or to say, there's nothing, I don't know what the select board would even say about roads like that. Have you looked at the regional plan? The NVDA regional plan for bicycling?
No,
I I know that Kirby has done something, haven't they? Hasn't Kirby, the town of Kirby, done something? They've held back road races or back road events.
we've had that happen on the county road. We
Yeah.
have used it. Yep.
I mean, I think the evidence,
Right.
I think you have already evidence if you can cite the times that that's occurred, that's kind of like I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you need. You need to support that this is a popular route
Right.
or it is a great route. I mean,
Right.
I'm just not sure
Who's
that
that,
people
Black
would
Floyd?
stop using it if there's a
Mhm.
whole solar panel field there, but
Well, anyway, that's why we're here tonight was we feel strongly about protecting our property. And I think that, you know, of course, there's not a lot of us here because not a lot of people live up there, but if you had a house, you wouldn't want to be looking at something like that or living near something like that. It's a 200 megawatt place. It's solar array.
I've got solar panels, but I don't want to look at 10 acres of them.
Right. Anybody else?
Would I ask, how many feet, where it says 915, who could I ask to measure that for me, where they want to put those panels to my house, if it's more? If they're saying this and then they're saying this in a different letter, who do I contact? Will be a surveyor? Would I have to get a surveyor to measure that out for me?
Well, you'd probably have to wait to see where they put that first, where they're thinking of putting that first panel, right? To make sure that it is 1,000 feet. Is that what
That's
that?
big.
Oh, I know, it's not really
Right,
showing.
Right,
I
so I
think
was just wondering.
I think that when they hold their public hearings, that would be the time to challenge that and make that, say, no, it's not that, just enter that into the testimony. If you had, I mean, measuring services on Google Earth are pretty accurate. You might try there. I hope you wouldn't find that they're right, but
Right.
you can measure and it's fairly accurate. It would be good if you did have some kind of actual document showing that from a reputable, but you're looking at a surveyor and I'm not sure if you want to pay that kind of money for
Yeah.
a single measurement.
Right, okay.
You could always walk it. Do you have a pace?
No.
Like one of those wheels?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, we don't have one.
No, but anyways, okay, I was just kind of curious if what the
It
step
would take a surveyor.
Sure.
It would
Yeah.
take a survey to actually measure that unless you had some other documentation. But I'm telling even any kind of documentation that you had, a measurement on Google Earth would be better than nothing at all,
Okay.
as if it agreed with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's 1,015 feet. Yeah, we don't want to show that.
Right. So, okay, thank you.
That's still too close too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Amy, Brian?
I wasn't really sure what the meeting was gonna be, so just.
But it's good we got it out and we're talking about it again.
Yep. Just in case. All right. Thank you guys.
All righty.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like you are.
Sorry to hold up you folks'
Oh,
time.
that was nothing.
That's
That's
all right.
what we're here for.
Thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
How you doing, Bill?
Good, Bill.
So the next one that I had put down was the town public meeting, because I had sent out some emails. I didn't know if it got posted. Was it a warning that had to be up for a month? So I kind of think I got that
No,
answer.
there's no warning. I mean, we'll have to warn that the planning commission is going to be there and the select board's going to be there, but and the select board is just that they'll be in attendance because
Right.
I'm sure they'll all be there.
So has that been
Haven't
advertised
put
yet?
the
anywhere?
warning out yet. We put posters out today to
Okay.
advertise it because, we want people to come. So
Yeah.
we did do that. And Katie, I think if she hasn't got it, she will have it by tomorrow morning. It'll be on Facebook. We're
Okay.
creating a Facebook event. It'll be shared through all of our various channels on there. And she's adding it to the town website. I did already order the sandwiches because we're going to get those from Kingdom Market. And Teresa wasn't happy with me because then Teresa got the call that she has to go in and make the sandwiches.
Oh, God.
When I talked to her this morning, she goes, "What the hell are you doing on the 23rd?"
Oh,
I said,
no.
Teresa. She goes, "I got a message from Ryan."
How many are you having her make?
We've got 45 sandwiches. It's basically what they did for the Becca Balin thing.
Yeah.
She told me that's about what they did for that. And
That
so,
worked.
I figured we'd have enough for 100 people then.
Yeah.
So I was going to stop and bring with me because I'm up that week. Soda. And do we want potato chips or anything like that? Because I have BJ's membership. I can pick it up
I was
there.
gonna say, I hope you had a BJ's. What did they do for that other meeting? As far
I
as-
don't know what they had to go with it. I only knew that they had the sandwiches. I didn't know what
Yeah.
else they had for
I think they
drinking.
have chips and water.
Chips and water.
I wouldn't want soda, so it'd be dumped all over the floor and stuff.
Yeah. Probably water would be better instead of soda, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think? Water?
Water.
Okay.
Be
right.
healthier for them too. Imagine that.
After
I-
eating our.
I do have some things that we should be thinking about with this meeting. Typically, if you want people there, you got to really push it, and that means phone calls to people. You really have to get out there and get people to know. Just advertising around, I don't think is going to be enough to get a lot of people. Food will get a lot of people, but any extra calling people can make is good. Are we going to have a speaker of any kind? I mean, we're going to concentrate this one on water and sewer, right?
Right. That's what I put on there. And then just kind of a general overview of what does it mean that we're updating the town plan? I mean, I don't know that most people are going to know what that means.
Should we have somebody like Michael Maynor here from A&E to talk about the plans for the water treatment plants?
Ooh.
These are just thoughts. The engineer. Are we
And
gonna?
he could explain the two options because I mean that's kind of what we're looking for feedback on what the water side is. Okay,
Right.
it's wells or brook or well or brooks, and here's
I think
the
that'd be a
pluses.
good idea to have been here.
I think, but I do think we should approach it as a decision already made by the water board. And actually, the water board maybe ought to be invited to this as well, water and sewer, since it's
Yeah.
mostly going to be about their
Yes.
projects. But I think it should be presented as a decision has been made, and we want to explain why that decision was made. And if they don't like it, then that would be different. But I don't, as I said before, we don't want to take a vote on this at this meeting. That's for sure.
Right. No.
Will we have other displays there? Should we put things up on the walls or?
I was
easels
thinking
or-
of doing a slideshow for the wastewater treatment plant because we're going to be under construction probably a week after that meeting.
Right, and you're going to talk about funding with that?
Yeah. What
Right.
went in, what it's actually costing, what we have for funding to pay for it, and how it's going to impact, the end users or the town.
Right.
So is the water and sewer meeting tomorrow, Tuesday?
No, it's the third
Okay.
Tuesday. It'll be I think it's probably what is the third?
Oh, that was
Tuesday? This month
that's
is weird.
That's like when the week that the select board have their meeting, and that was last week. So,
It's next Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
Next
next
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
so are we gonna present that to them at that meeting to come, or are we just gonna say to Zach or whatever, or
Well,
Bruce?
I think one of us, Mike or I, should just contact them and
Right, right.
All right,
Well, I
good.
mean, Heather's chair of the water and sewer board, so
Right.
she'll be there already. Mark's not here tonight, but he's on the planning commission, so he'll be
Right.
there. You know, I mean, that's it's the issue with water and sewer. It's
Yeah.
people who are on every other board, so they're
Yeah.
probably going to be in attendance anyway.
And I'll
right.
be there.
Yeah, I'll come. And I'll tell my neighbors. I always do, but I never get anybody to go, but I will.
I think we should have just a short introduction saying that this is going to be the first of 3 public informational and outreach meetings for the town plan, and maybe a very brief thing about what the town plan is, because people can talk, or you can use the words, but it's a statutory, it's in the statute as a real thing. And what we should talk about, why we need it for grants, as a foundation for zoning bylaws, for planning, for budgeting, for Act 250, to, substantiate the town's position in Act 250 hearings. The people need to know why this is important. So anyway, just a few thoughts I had on it.
Yeah.
Was there anything you wanted me to do? I mean, not that I want to.
You're gonna run the show, Annie.
No, I'm not. Am I?
Yeah.
No, is there,
Well,
is there agenda?
I think you should,
Agenda?
I think you should open the meeting. Yeah, it's a planning commission public hearing, public meeting.
Okay.
So,
Um,
I mean, you can, turn it over after that, but as long as you're comfortable, it's your meeting.
so as far as I'm just opening this meeting, am I introducing the town plan that we're working on, or
Yeah,
just, I don't have the,
I think you
I
should
don't-
talk about the things about what a town plan is and why it's important. We can give you some, verbiage on that to say.
okay,
But just sort of a brief introduction, and then, we can, Mike and I can talk about the projects, or the water board can talk. We'll have to decide that, as we
Okay.
get closer.
Right.
all right, I'm fine with that.
So I was thinking that, trying to push this, that maybe we should do a big push. I'll make the town plan a really nice, viewable online file, because I'm not sure what ours looks like right now online. I haven't really looked at it because I have a printed out copy. But
I do
that,
too.
we kind of push that to the Facebook page. People should look at what our current town plan is and, kind of explain it. You should think about, when you look at this, what would you like to see different in the town plan? This is our blueprint for where we want to be going over the next 8 years. And, I don't think our current town plan does a good job of laying out the next 8 years. I think it's like 16 years ago kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think copies of the town plan should be made available. I mean, paper copies should be available.
Right.
at
I
the
figure,
meeting.
how many do we think we want at the meeting? Because I can print them like the annual report, where they print on the ledger paper, stapled in the middle, so they're actually a booklet, so they fold up, and it's not as many sheets of paper.
Well, if we really do good outreach, you should probably have 30. I mean, we're gonna have to get a lot of good outreach to get 100 people to come to this thing. It's
yeah.
gonna have to work the phones.
Oh,
is
come
my-
on, just throw a little something controversial out there. That'll pull it
Yeah.
right in.
Yeah, right.
If you get 50 people, you'll be lucky.
Yeah. Well, then
I
they
mean,
can't complain, because
I
if
don't know,
they
I mean,
don't come, they can't complain.
I don't know. We did pretty well when we did the VCRD meetings, but I know
Yeah,
that
we did.
they were really good about advertising. But we can. I mean, we can use our marketing. I mean, we know how to market stuff. We do all of our events in town, so kind of that's I did a really nice flashy poster for it that's out everywhere. And
Yeah, I mean, this is people's chance to have a say in where we're going with things, so.
Well, we'll do our best. Bill, you see a lot of people.
Yep. When are you gonna have them posters ready to go?
They're already
Like,
out. Katie took them and put them up around town this afternoon.
Oh, okay. I didn't see
I would like one because I'll put it up down to the food shelf.
Just don't leave after the meeting. I'll print one for you real fast.
Okay.
And you can take it
Okay.
right with you.
Good.
Actually, I need to send that to the school.
Actually, you can print it out and I can come get it tomorrow.
Doesn't matter. It takes like 2 seconds. I just have to open the file and print it. I can probably print it while we're on the meeting.
Grab it. Okay, any other discussion on the public meeting on April 23rd? We'll continue it next meeting. You good?
Next meeting is our last one, right? Because it's the Monday
Oh.
before it.
We want to say anything else then? I think we're good, right? I mean,
I think we can do anything else via email probably. I don't
Okay.
know. Right.
all right, that's good. Good thinking. Thank you. All right, moving
Are we,
on.
actually, no, I guess, are we gonna want video display there or are we gonna do only print display? What are we gonna do?
But what would you do for video? Because you're doing a
Well, if you're gonna-
slideshow.
Yeah, are we gonna
Right.
do like slideshows? Are we gonna do any of that kind of stuff? Or are we gonna just have stuck on the wall? I mean, I have a display board kind of thing, those that you take to trade shows. I have one of those.
What would we put on it though?
I think we should have the capacity to have, I mean, if you're gonna have a slideshow, what would you use, Mike, for your slideshow a slide deck that you would have?
Well, I'd have to create one. I mean, I would have to, like, if I'm going to talk about wastewater treatment, I can put, numbers and
No, I meant, what would you use for the screen?
the forum owns that great big screen that we used the year that Noah called into town meeting
Yeah.
day.
Right. I mean, it seems to me to be sufficient. It's big enough.
Yeah,
When
that
you
would,
when you say video, what did you have in mind?
All right, well, that's just it. I mean, we can do anything. We can do video, we can do slideshows, we have the capability to do any of it. I just have to know what to plan for and what to set up.
what's
Because if people want to
easier?
do slideshows, I just, we have to plan for that. They have to be ready. You have to give them to me so that I have them on the computer to be able to show them. And so we'd have to have those ready by the first of that week. I mean, I couldn't get them on Wednesday, would be pushing it.
Yeah. So how would we be giving you things? Like for me, I don't get it.
Can I tell you, Annie, if you can sketch it on paper, if you want a slideshow or you want something like that, draw it on a piece of paper and have them scan it to me. I can turn it into something pretty
Yeah,
for you.
What am I scanning and what am I saying? And I mean, I don't know much about this
I
water.
don't know. I mean, I'm thinking like I'm thinking I would probably do a slideshow to explain the wastewater treatment project. Only because if I stand up there and just rattle numbers, it doesn't mean a whole lot unless you see them on the screen or something.
I agree.
And I guess we could ask if Michael Maynard is going to talk about the water treatment plants. Does he want to put a couple slides in there? I mean, it doesn't have to be a million of them, but a couple of,
If we had some photos from some of the asset management plan and some of the really important pages from the PERs, the budgetary stuff maybe, and like for the water, the plan that shows the main water line, the need to do that in the next 5 years, sort of priorities so that people know that planning has gone on and, here's some of the things you want to talk about. Yeah, yeah. Would it would be a computer slideshow, right?
Right.
Run from a computer.
Yep.
Would it be a PowerPoint?
Yeah. PowerPoint's easy for slides.
Yeah.
Now, is that the water treatment plant gonna look a lot different than it does right now?
The water treatment plant?
Well,
I
they
will
sewer
say-
treatment plant rather.
Oh, yeah, it's got a whole new building and everything. That sewer treatment plant we've got gets demolished.
I
The
was thinking
lagoons stay.
to get a rough idea of what the new one was gonna look like, compare it to the old one. And a pic, you know, put the picture of the old one and a picture of what roughly the new one would look like.
Yeah, I mean, we have diagrams and drawings and everything. It's gonna be a steel building at this point. It's gonna be a shed roof steel building. Pretty plain. On the outside, inside, high tech.
Yeah, it's not gonna look like the 1928 high school chem lab anymore.
Now, how about the lagoons? Are they gonna look different or?
The
They're gonna be
lagoons will,
empty.
yeah, well, they won't have, 10 feet of sludge in the bottom of them.
Well, yeah, well,
That part will be missing.
The new plant will be as you pull in, where the gate is, you go through the gate, the new plant will be right to the right. Immediately to the right
yeah.
and bigger than the existing thing.
And it removes phosphorus and all that other good stuff. It brings us into full compliance with the new rules and regs, which we are not currently. I mean, we're compliant right now, but we're not ready for the new regs that are coming in the very near future on phosphorus content. We have to be able to remove all that. But we do have some pretty good diagrams. I mean, we could pull out a couple of things from that and just kind of show,
Right.
this is what we're building, and here's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think everybody pays attention to that. It's not like everybody wants to sit and watch all these meetings and say, "Oh, now I know everything about the sewer treatment plant." They don't really care. They just want to make sure it works. But
Right.
we are spending $8 million on it, so it is kind of an important thing for people to know where $8 million is going.
And they'll want to know what it means for them.
I
Yeah,
thought it was 6. I thought it went to 6. It went to 8 now?
The
Like
construction
8
is 6.
Okay.
right.
And
Then
what's
you
the
got
other
$2 million in engineering costs on there.
Okay. Well, Jamie was right. He was going 8 and I'm going, no, they said 6.
6 was the construction bid, but that's not,
Yeah.
we have, a lot when it comes to engineering, which, is actually, we might get it for less than 8 in the end because the contractor is got a much shorter timeline projected than what was originally planned. It's almost 5 months shorter, which would save us considerably on part of the engineering cost. So keep your fingers crossed that it actually can work that way.
Definitely. Okay. Are we good on this now? Or do you want any more discussion? We good?
Nope, I'm good.
Good. Okay. I don't think there's any public comment. Nobody's here, right? Okay.
I guess
just-
Joel's public. He's
Yeah.
he's not on the board, so he's public.
Oh,
Any
that's
comment,
right.
Joel?
You guys
Nope.
do a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the zoning board update with Nick Kittredge. Now, I don't understand, is he gonna report anything? I know you have that. I texted you, Joel, on that. Tracking. That was the only thing that, I think he had questions on, and I think you said you needed more time to talk to him. He wasn't.
Right.
That.
So we have exchanged emails. He was inquiring. He got a request to sign COs, which is something that I would get from time to time. Usually they were way old because even though you tell people when they get their permit that when your project is done, file this application for a CO so I can sign and say it's actually it shouldn't even occupy the house. But people forget to put the thing in. They don't send it in. They do their project and they go in the house and it's like just the way it is. But so they come in, they're old. These are 10 or 11 years old. The property's changed hands a few times. What I would do with these is I would go online on the tax map on Google Earth. I'd look and I'd look at the parcel, see where it was. And I just look and see, does it look like they built what they said they were going to build? And most of the time, Google Earth and the tax map measurements are good enough to tell that yes, they did or they didn't. I occasionally would call people up on the phone and say, did you build what you said you were going to build? Very occasionally, I might go out to actually see it. But, the point there is, you can't measure setbacks. There's no line on the ground to be able to measure whether they got the setbacks right. You can measure the dimensions of the building, but I think that people are mostly pretty honest, and I do check to the extent. So that's what all I want to check when we do the COs is, did they build what they said they were going to build, where they said they were going to build it? That's all I want to know. Well, Nick got into reading the clause that says you have to, the zoning permit's good for 2 years. And he wondered whether people had maybe done some work after 2 years, and should they have applied for additional permits because the old permit 2 years had gone by. And I advised him that that's a rabbit hole. Yeah, you'd have to do a lot of work, but I'm not sure for what good result would come out of it. And it's not only him that'd do the work. He would be asking Lisa and Teresa and Tara to do the work to look up all the old records. So tracking all that, who owned the property, did something go down after, is like not worth the time in my mind. I advised him. So I said, just check to see that the property, they build what they said they were going to build. Unless you have some strong evidence to the contrary that is easy to come by and not asking everybody else to do a big job. It's not, I don't think that was that important, but so he kind of agreed with that. He's got some applications that he's dealing with. He's going to work sporadically. He's going to work as he can. It's not going to be maybe as timely as Beth did or as I did, but he has 30 days to deal with a permit by law. We like to, it's part of the job description that we've had with the zoning people is you might have 30 days, but don't dawdle. Get these things. People are waiting. Get them done as soon as you can. So
Okay.
I had.
So he's taking care of the rest of this, all of this. This is going to
Yes.
be. Okay.
With Richard Fortin, I know Jeannie wants to get on Richard Fortin, and maybe you do too. What I think Richard Fortin should do is before he paid $300 and put in 2 separate permits for 2 separate buildings that Beth made him put in separate permits for each building. I never did that, but he paid the $300 and she denied his permits. And so they sent his money back. What I think he should do is if he's willing to pay the $300, put one new application in for what he needs to get. He has no permits. Put an application in with the drawings. They'll be too close, so the zoning administrator won't be able to approve them. And then he takes the other 150 and applies for the DRB, or 250. He goes to the DRB. This is the process that we have.
Right.
And they decide. But going to court before we go through that process is not the way it should be done. We need to go through the process. If the DRB says, no, we're not going to give you a variance for those buildings, you have to move them, and he refuses to move them, then it's time to go to court.
Okay. So is Nick going to do that? I mean,
Nick's not going to do that yet. I mean, he's
Okay.
still getting as far as I'm concerned, his feet are still pretty wet on this thing. He's only been zoning administrator in Concord for a year. So I would like to make sure he's got the process for just the regular permits down and signing these COs and getting those. Let's get that process so that he's comfortable with that, and then we'll move on to the other things. They're not going away,
And are we doing anything with Brett? I mean,
it's not going away. No, we'll take it up to as soon as he gets. I mean, we have 15 years.
Yeah.
We're not gonna wait 15 years, but still, he's got too much on his plate to begin with here. Let's just let him get used to things.
No, okay.
Sometime in the next month or two, we can move on to those things.
Okay, the other thing that I'm thinking of is how does he know when people actually do something and maybe don't put a permit in, like I've seen many times by
How do we ever-
walking?
well, the only reason I ever knew is because you would tell me.
I know, but I'm saying, I don't want people, I'm not doing it to be squealing on people. I mean, if people are doing the right thing, they should be getting a permit. But if you don't see the permit and you come here and you maybe ask, then that's a violation. Most people will pay their permits.
Yeah, no,
Do I still have, if I see something, can I say something or what?
yeah.
absolutely.
But who, am I telling you or am I telling Nick?
Nick, you go to Nick.
Like I would just find out the address and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, I just didn't want to step on any.
just say,
toes.
go check and see if these people have a permit.
Okay,
right.
all right.
Yeah, don't make Nick go see if they have a permit. If you think there's something going on,
Oh, I would investigate.
yeah, right.
Yeah, no problem with that.
Now, Joel, did you get a chance to talk with either one of them to find out anything? You said you was gonna talk to them,
To who?
to Richard and Brett?
I have talked to Richard. I have not talked to Brett. I don't think it's my place at this point, really. I'm sort of waiting to see. Just
Okay.
kind of sitting on this for right now to see which way things go here.
Well, I know you
if
had
I'm
said
not
something at the
mistaken,
last meeting that you would talk to them. You would talk to them, so I was
Yeah,
wondering. if you had-
I have talked to Richard. I think Richard would be amenable. I haven't talked to him about what I just suggested to you, but I know he wants to settle this thing, and if we're gonna keep at it, I think that's the way for us to go. Is he puts in an application like anybody else and pays the money and goes to see the DRB.
and I think didn't the select board kind of agree with Brett that he kind of had basically till spring to deal with this. Everything's buried in the snow right now. We can't do anything until spring. So, spring
I think
is
he's
upon
removed
us,
it.
and
Few more. I think he's
Huh?
moved a few more cars.
seeing, and that's
I mean, I
what
don't
we
know.
hope for progress.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think if he shows progress, I think we should, okay, the progress.
Yeah, what we've asked him to do is really officially is to move the cars, right? I mean,
Yeah,
and he said he would,
yep.
and he's not moving as fast as we would like, but Nick will pay a visit at some point.
Any other discussion? Okay, moving on to the town plan. Are we gonna talk anything about?
Well,
Okay,
the
I have
application,
one. Well, go ahead. No,
no,
go.
you go ahead.
Okay, so like we have that, what was her name? I know her last name is Joy. What was her first? Allison Joy, who's gonna be working with you, right?
Allison Lowe.
Low, okay, Low. Was gonna be working with you, and if we had any things, like the members have anything that you wanted to put in the town plan as well, like to discuss it or see what she says, right? No, yes?
So if we get the grant, the grant will pay, if we get the grant, we'll sign a contract with NVDA to use Allison to come up. If we don't get the grant, I think that they'll help anyway. I don't know that they'll help in the way that we might otherwise, but we'll be more on our own. But I'm sure they'll still help out. But the grant money is to pay for a lot of their time and food and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, once we get that grant, we start working on things, Allison will be here.
So if I had something I wanted to add in there, that's the time that we're gonna do it.
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll spend lots of meetings working on the town plan. I remember being part of that the first time. I had just gotten on the planning board, I think back then.
It's
Yeah.
fun. We'll have a blast. People will be begging to help us.
Yeah, we hope. So that's in the future. We're just, we're still on track. We've got Allison, hopefully we get the grant and all. Any other discussion on that? We good? Approve the minutes of the previous meeting. I sent that out to everybody.
I'll make a motion, we approve them.
How did I do, Joel?
Excellent.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
okay,
I'll second.
Mike, okay. The other business I only had for, moving on is the, ethics. I mean, are we doing, I don't have the link. I don't know how we're moving on that. I mean,
Oh,
I,
you didn't get the link? I can send you the link.
Yeah,
have
I
two
didn't get
mine.
the link.
I haven't done mine yet.
Heather, I thought was gonna do it, but I haven't seen anything. Have you seen the link?
It
Yeah,
should have
but
been,
as a select board member, I've seen it. I haven't seen it as a
and
planning
it
board
should have been,
member.
you should have gotten that because you're a chair. You should have gotten that.
Can you do it again? Maybe I missed it.
I'm sure I can find it because I know she just sent it to me a week or two ago because I'm not officially in a chair of anything, so I didn't have to I don't actually even have to take it, but I will take it.
Okay. Cause you can do that on your own. I mean, right?
Anybody
your-
can,
on
I
pho-
mean,
on your
they
phone.
recommend that all town employees take it. I mean, but you know, the requirements are the chairs of the boards have to take it.
Anybody,
all the
any
select board
any
members.
board that's got any kind of action they can take that has an impact. I'm not sure the planning commission actually has to take it. Does planning commission have to even take it? But
Maybe not.
look, it's not bad. It's a short course and
I know.
they give you a couple test questions on your ethics, you know. It's like, okay, you know you're an electrician, you go to inspect the facility and the guy offers you tickets to the ball game. You know, they present you with ethical situations, and you know, it's good to think about. I mean,
Yeah,
as public
I'm
servants,
fine. So I didn't, when you guys, made a motion, I didn't say all in favor.
I,
Aye.
and
Okay.
actually, if you want to send any of your notes to Katie, she's actually going to watch the video from this to finish taking the minutes for tonight. She just already, we just, because you had asked, I
Oh,
guess, for
yeah,
somebody else to
yeah,
take minutes. And
yeah.
so the town is hiring her to do the minutes for the planning
Oh,
commission.
Oh,
So, but
perfect.
she couldn't be here tonight because she already had another engagement for tonight. Because I just asked her on Friday.
Are you said Katie, right? Or Tara?
Yeah.
Katie? Okay.
Yep.
And she is, for that kind of work, her email address is admin3.
What is it?
Admin3. Like
Oh,
Joel's
admin 3,
admin,
yes,
I'm
okay,
admin
yeah.
2, she's admin3 at brightondt.gov.
Okay.
Otherwise, it goes to our library, and we don't want to mix all that up.
Okay. All right, so that's already been said that she's gonna look at these minutes again, okay?
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Yes. She talked to me earlier today, and she said, I can't make it tonight. She goes, but I'll watch the video. And I'll
Perfect.
do them from that.
Thank you for doing that, appreciate it. Anything else on other business? We got the ethics and,
Only I was gonna let you know, I did find something, because my term is up on the planning commission in September. And I am not planning to be reappointed for the umpteenth time.
so is it a
So-
3-year or 4-year?
It's a 3-year, I think.
I thought I was up too.
This is like 11. Oh, I can tell you, because the auditors already had me renewed, and when they were doing the book this
Right.
year, and I said, oh no, no.
I saw
I am
that. I
up
thought
in 25.
Mine, I came out on September. I thought it was 21. Maybe it's
see.
22. This is my second year, so it must have been 22. So I maybe got one.
Oh, Annie, you've got 2 more years yet. They have you on here till 27. They're 4-year terms. They're all 4-year terms.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
one up
that's
this year. Next year is Gene, then you, and Mark
27.
Valencourt are 27, and Billy's on there till 28 because he just got reappointed last year.
right, okay.
Lucky you. But I did already find a replacement.
Yeah.
Judy
So we have to-
Valenti.
Who'd you find?
Judy Valenti said she would
Oh,
take.
awesome.
She's interested. I mean, she's interested in a couple months because she's
Yeah.
giving up being treasurer of the snowmobile club.
Oh, okay.
And so she said, then yes, she would be interested in doing this. I think she'd be a great one to have on here. So
Yes, she will be. So I have, when the time comes, I have to find somebody before I leave too?
well, it's helpful if you do.
Yeah, okay. I'll take Judy.
Nope, sorry, she's mine.
Yeah,
Balls off.
she'll be very good. Okay, so, we're looking good. Anything else to discuss? Katie's gonna be, no minutes. Nothing? Do you want to
Nothing.
make an adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Or does Mike have to do it because he just did one? Does that make a difference?
Doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
I'll second it.
And Mike and Billy, all in favor?
Aye.
Then meeting is adjourned.
See you guys later.
All right,
Yep.
thank
There you
you,
go.
Joel.
Okay. Hold on, Billy. I will print your thing here because it's on this computer because I printed from here earlier.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me stop that.
Gonna shut that off.